All right, so the next step, I'll be a little less specific. And the next step is if you have three terms and it doesn't meet one of the special factor forms, you're going to factor your trinomial, and there's two different ways that you can do this, okay? Or a couple different ways that you can do this. The first is by reverse FOIL. Reverse FOIL just means you're going to look at the process of foiling in the opposite direction to figure out what factors would give you that expanded polynomial. And so there's two different ways that you can, or two different types of questions that have different rules for factoring by reverse FOIL. The first is when the leading coefficient is 1. All right, if this is the case, what you're going to do, and I'll go through an example here. Okay, so this is the foiling that you guys are, reverse foiling that you guys probably remember. Okay, so if your leading coefficient is 1, you're simply going to have two binomial factors. Okay, and you want to keep in mind that the first term is the product of your first terms of your binomial factors. So the only combination that you could possibly have of two factors that would yield an x squared would be x and x. So you can just start with that. And next you have to take a look at the last terms. And the last two terms of your binomial factors have to multiply to equal -12. And their sum has to be equivalent to the middle term 4x. So what you need to do is figure out what factors of -12 have a total sum of +4. And the answer would be -2 and +6. So those become the terms of your binomial factors. And again, it doesn't matter which order you write those factors, x minus 2 times x plus 6 or x plus 6 times x minus 2. Either one is fine. Okay, but that is the process if your leading coefficient is 1. Okay, so let's take a look at a couple more examples here. Again, these should be done very quickly and very straightforward. Okay, so we check this. We know that our first terms are x's because the leading coefficients are 1. Our last terms have to be the two factors of -24 whose sum is +5. And what are those numbers? +8, -3. So I can write those again in either order is fine. But those are going to be my factors. Okay, try one last example. First terms are x's. The last terms are the two factors of -24 whose sum is -2, and that is +4, -6. And that would be your factors. Good. Okay, so probably no issues with that.